you gave me a lot of buzzwords to think about. You got my mind twisting and turning because of one word. And we're at a blockchain and AI conference, and yet one word has been lost in translation. And before I say that word, introduce yourself to the audience and introduce yourself, tell me what you're doing. And I think you're going to drop the word, but I'll go there. And it's not the word, but tell me what you do and why we're here.
Thank you, Kevin. I like the passion in what you're saying, and absolutely, we're going to talk about that one word that you kind of alluded to. My name is Stephen Ho. I'm the Group CEO of Skylab Group.
Skylab.
Skylab,
Skylab
right?
Group.
SKYLAB.
Here in Hong Kong.
We're based out of Singapore, coming to Hong Kong
That's right.
for this exhibition. Excited to be here. And what we do is we are a deep tech company. We develop software for the data center service provider. And here comes the big word for the infrastructure world.
That's
right?
the word. That's the
infrastructure.
word.
And we're totally passionate about it because I'm just going to drop some statistics and then that sets the context. Now, if you kind of think of what is happening in the year 2025, which is this year, some $650 billion is being spent on all things AI. Now, it could be your LLMs, it could be your agentic AI agents, it could be your application, it could be inference models, whatever, 650 billion. And of which, almost 210 billion is being spent on what is known as AI infrastructure.
1/3.
It's 1/3.
Wow.
That's a lot of money. And then moving forward to next year, almost 280 billion. So now here comes the key issue. How do you manage this infrastructure in a meaningful way? And then here comes the other word that you were thinking of. If you don't take care of your plumbing system is not going to take care of you. All right? And then there's going to become issues. And in the world of cloud and AI infrastructure, one of the key issues really is one of proprietariness.
Right.
Now, if you're going to spend that much money, you do not want to necessarily be kind of stuck in one or the other. And this brings on a very important point, which is a hybrid and multi-cloud environment, where a lot of your workloads, your database is being kind of spread all around amongst the big cloud players like Azure and AWS and Google, to your own private data center, to somewhere in between. Now it's getting very complex very quickly. How do you even manage them? And that's where Skylab comes in. For the last 10 years, we've developed a platform that allows our users, be they service providers, large enterprises, or even governments, to manage their cloud resources, AI compute infrastructure across this very complex environment.
I'll play devil's advocate just for fun, because I love what's going on and how important it is. Who cares about plumbing? I'll just fix it when it breaks. I'll just, analogy, the toilet rarely breaks, or the faucet or the pressure of the water is okay. Like, who cares? I'll just fix it when it breaks. Or I'll watch a YouTube video. These are all analogies, but for AI infrastructure, that word that I was talking about was infrastructure. No one's talking about it. No one cares. It's not sexy enough, but the money is there. So don't tell me that it doesn't matter. But let's go back to my fun little, experiment. Who cares about plumbing? Plumbing is just plumbing. Yeah, I built the house. I paid a plumber. It worked for 10 years. I don't think it's going to break. I don't think the toilet's going to break. Well, same thing goes with AI. All of a sudden, you're in crisis management mode. What do I do? How do I do it? It was like, well, all you had to do was just fix your plumbing. So that's what he meant about plumbing, is the analogy of what it means for AI. Did I get that right? Did we miss anything there?
And I really have to thank you, like I did on stage, for showing so much passion in plumbing system, because for the most part, nobody talks about it, right? And this is something that, exactly to your point, people kind of think about it as an afterthought.
Yeah.
Now, assuming for a moment, if nothing changes, you have the same number of family members in the home. Sure, whatever plumbing system you have is probably going to work. Now, imagine for a moment, all your extended family for all across the world is going to turn out. Everybody's
going. In-laws show up.
Everybody shows up, right? And then everybody starts using the bathroom, in the kitchen cooking and so on. And now you're starting to wonder, why is the water pressure not there? Why is it that, when you flush the water, and so on and so forth. So in the world of AI, same thing, right? We're talking about applications, we're talking about LLMs, we're talking about inference models, we're talking about all those things, and everybody talks about that exploding. But now the question becomes, do you have the necessary infrastructure to support those behavior? And the last thing you want is like major cities around the world. You have a massive traffic jam going on now, and you start wondering, why are my highways so limited? Why can't they take on more, right? So that's kind of how this situation will evolve if we don't think about
100%. And I want everybody out there to take that analogy very seriously, because when you build a home, the most important part is your foundation infrastructure, your foundation. If you don't build a good foundation and you built it on mud or sand or whatever, it will sink. Look at Amsterdam, literally. And then if you look at the plumbing side, I want to attribute it to smart city solutions and the lack thereof. We're in 2025 and we don't have a single smart city out there, a real smart city. Connectivity, IoT, on the blockchain, because it doesn't have to be, but it should be. Excuse me. On-chain data. See, I get so excited. I just So what are we missing here? We're missing proper plumbing. We don't have AI. We don't have IoT in smart cities because the infrastructure was just forgotten about. It's not sexy enough. There's not enough multiple on the tech. I would argue that's totally changing. So I want to flip it there. Are you getting a lot of attention from investors' side that are finally, maybe or not finally, waking up and saying, oh, this is where we should spend the money, because it's not just through this honeymoon phase of AI and blockchain and all the buzzwords. Oh, this is going to last for the next 50 years. And what's after blockchain and AI? I have no idea, because AI is going to create what's after AI. Blockchain will create what's after blockchain. So for now, this is what you got. This is the future tech. You're in the deep side of that tech. And so are you seeing that shift of communication happen with the investor side? Forget retail for a second. The investors that are needing to put the money in there, the executives, are you seeing a shift or no? Not yet. We need more of it.
And thanks again, Kevin, for the passion on plumbing. And there's a recent report that suggests up to 75% of enterprises are starting to realize the importance of a hybrid compute environment. Now, 75% is a big number, right?
Huge, yeah.
And a part of that hybrid complexity, really, we're talking about this whole infrastructure plumbing system, because they realize that it's no longer possible to have a certain workload, certain database sitting only in one place. It's likely to be in everywhere. And then the question is, you don't want things being everywhere without an easy way to manage it.
Right.
And then I speak a lot with the C-suite, from the CEOs to the CFOs to the CTOs and CIOs. They're starting to realize that, hey, you know what? When it comes to computational utilization, the cost can run away quite quickly. And on stage, we spoke about it. For the most part, any C-suite, they probably care about a few things when it comes to adopting technology. One is to whether it makes you money, one it saves you money, one whether it's a shiny new toy. And of course, I added on to that by saying, does it keep me on the right side of the books, right? Regulatory compliance. And one of the key issues that we are seeing amongst our enterprise and government clients really is this whole concept of data sovereignty. How do I make sure that certain data stays where they should?
Right.
What's the easy way for me to manage that situation so that data doesn't go where it's not supposed to go? So all this goes back again fundamentally to the whole concept of plumbing. The right water goes to the right place. You don't want to turn on a tap and then the wrong color water turns up, right? So
and that's another analogy that's so important, because we need to one for one it. You go into a beautiful hotel, the hot water shower, the pressure and everything. Same idea with your tech. Had you focused on 5-star treatment for your plumbing, you'd give 5-star results for your client service, whatever. So, and then I want to end with, what is the industry that you're personally most passionate about for the near future or future? And also, maybe, are you seeing that come on the client side? You said you work with governments, some institutions. These are the players that understand. They have deep pockets, but they understand that the only way to get to the next level, smart city solutions, connectivity, IoT, is to have infrastructure. They're the ones that understand it. They don't need much massaging. Is there a certain industry that you're seeing more prevalent come to you? Or you can answer a personal, do you like a certain industry in the next couple of years that you wish would come towards you?
thanks for that. I think that's such an important question. And although I'm a techie myself, I always believe that technology is a means to an end. You know, it's just not having the shiny new toy
Yeah.
for fun, right? So it needs to meet a societal need. And early on, you mentioned quite a few times smart cities. And smart cities needs to exist really for the city. Less of the smart, but for the city, right? And if there's something that I hope in the near future, probably in the horizon of 2 to 3 years, as kind of what we spoken about on stage, is really this healthcare, right? Because health is important. I think if we can make use of AI technology with the right kind of data, right kind of training, and then it can help, you know, the general public, the population, live a healthier lifestyle. You know, I think that's so powerful because I myself have benefited from it. You know, I've made use of various tools in AI to kind of change my diet, you know, design exercises and so on and so forth.
The Aura Ring. You heard of this? Smart ring, right? Biometrics, data, all of it. None of this, by the way, Aura Ring, none of this is on the blockchain. None of this is AI. Nothing. Imagine the next gen, right? Imagine that's what he's saying. So, health tech, med tech,
Exactly.
that's what gets you excited?
It does, because I've personally benefited from it.
Okay.
I mean, from, you know, analysis of the kind of exercise that fits me at a certain age,
Yep.
you know, my fitness level, what I should be eating, and so on and so forth. And amazingly, when I tried all those things out in a scientific manner, it worked. And I firmly believe that a lot more people can benefit out of it. And that's, to me, a very societal contribution that AI technology can bring to the table.
You said something, I looked off and I said, okay, he said, smart cities is more about the city, not about the smart. For the city, not for the smart. Let that simmer in your head for a little bit and you'll understand what he meant by that. Because I live in a dumb city. I'm from Los Angeles. Sorry, LA, you're extremely dumb. Terrible traffic, terrible pollution, terrible everything. And it usually is political, sorry, but politics can change like that. And it's about investing in infrastructure. And then I live in another city, Dubai, that's extremely smart, but nothing is connected. We're not IoT, we're not a smart city by any means, but it's the closest one in the world, I would argue. So we're close. Hong Kong, you're from here, but your teams are from all over the world, 3 different countries.
Yeah, so we're based out of Singapore.
Yep.
We have teams in Vietnam, in the Philippines, in Taiwan, in
Amazing. And you used to live in UAE.
no, Singapore right now.
No, you used to live in the UAE, right? So you have a perspective, like I'm saying, the global perspective, and you're still building the infrastructure, which is really exciting. I think it's more exciting. Why? Because I've always wanted to build stuff that no one was working on, a futurist. I use that term lightly. I'm not a very smart one. We try hard, and you're much smarter than me in this essence, but the future is what gets me excited. Who cares in the next 3 years if they implement or not? Because you and I both know 1,000% we'll put our lives on the line that in 10 or 20 years, all of what we said is just commonplace.
Yep.
It's all commonplace. Smart cities, IoT, infrastructure, the plumbing, it's all going to be just normal. And it's not going to be like, wait, you didn't do that? You're just gone. You're falling behind. So that's what excites me about what you're doing. So keep being a plumber. Plumbing pays, and plumbing is the future. So no, I appreciate you and thank you for enlightening me.
Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
nice to meet you, brother.
you.